Hello, and good evening, Facebook and YouTube. How are you all doing this evening? This is your girl YoYo, and welcome to Let's Grow with YoYo. So tonight, we are going to do a Did You Know in Black History before we get the show started. Mary Van Brittan Brown was a nurse. And in 1966, she invented a home security system along with her husband, Albert Brown. They received a patent in 1966 for the home security system. The reason that Albert and Maria invented the security system was because of security risks that she faced at home while she was alone. Due to the police's slow response in their neighborhood to emergencies, the Browns looked for ways to increase the level of security. The invention of the security system was a basis for the two-way communication and surveillance, which is now the modern-day security system. The original comprised of peepholes, a camera, monitors, and a two-way microphone. That is Did You Know in Black History. Now, before I get the show started, I have to share some administrative things. This is Let's Grow with YoYo is sponsored by Sparkle and More Paparazzi. That's right. I am your $5 lady for paparazzi. Now, welcome everyone to Let's Grow with YoYo. A couple of weeks ago, we talked to Lynette Fogg, a licensed counselor, and she stated that women were better social in relationships than men. Last week, we talked to a really dear friend of mine, my daughter's father, Jerome Fox, aka JP. And this week, I have a special guest, my best friend, my prayer partner, my crazy, the love, my better half, Ronita, Danny. What are you doing?
One of my eyes is looking bigger than the other.
Not with her right now. Really? Welcome, Ronita. Welcome, Danny.
Hey, girl. I need to move my camera because something. I don't know where to look. Wait, let me put it
here. Y'all pray for us here. Oh gosh.
What? I feel like I'm too close.
Back up a little bit. Y'all
I've never been to
my best friend. Look, well now you're not centered. So can you turn it just a little bit? Like turn the camera. No, the other way. There we go. This actually beautiful. Actually a beautiful look at.
How you doing?
All right.
Let me get myself together. Okay.
Huh? Renita, if you don't mind, can you tell the people how we met?
Yomi was is this a Christian show?
No, we going all broke. No.
Okay. Well, Yomi, hey Troy.
You didn't have to say his name. Go ahead.
Yomi was trying to date my boo. Troy. And she would be coming to visit him and I would be leaving. So we started talking at around the age of 12 and we realized we really liked each other. And we probably liked each other more than we liked Troy. But Troy, you fine. I'm sorry, Troy Weiss. I'm just saying.
I mean, he do look good, don't know.
Yeah. He still look good. Hey, Kiki. Yeah, so that's how we met. She was.
I was who?
I was visiting.
You was visiting? Girl, bye. Now listen, we gonna tell the truth and shame the devil tonight, okay? Okay, she got her innocent eyes on, y'all. She got the innocent eyes on. That's why one of them was looking lopsided for a second. Mine does. Right here, I'll never want to work. Anyway, we have known each other for over 30 plus years now.
Mm-hmm. Well,
don't
40. 7 minus 12.
She gets on my nerves. I can't. I don't know why I do.
I studied.
Anyway, how has our relationship in the beginning? We didn't have like from my understanding, we were getting to know each other, our ins and outs and everything. How do you feel our relationship is now related to then?
Well, it's totally different. It's mature.
Mm-hmm.
It's mature now. I think then we were more open though. I mean, because we didn't have anything to lose. I think now we are a little more reserved. So
Reserving how?
reserved in our behavior, our communication,
Mm-hmm.
everything. Because back then, as children are very candid. If they see it, if they feel it, if they smell it, whatever, they just tell you, without considering the person's feelings and stuff like that. Whereas now, especially when you build a relationship, you're very reserved and very cautious because you don't want to hurt the other person. You don't want to lie to them, but you don't want to just go to them and be like, "Girl, you stink today." You know what I mean? You don't do that. So that's what I mean. It's just it's a more mature relationship
Right.
and more, you care for it more.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Now, with this relationship, sisterhood, because to me it's a sisterhood.
Hmm.
How did you know this is what you wanted out of us? You know, because I'm not your sister, but as a friend.
Well, I think that's something that grew also for me. I
Mhm.
didn't know that. Like going into it, it was just somebody else I met. But we started having fun. We used to be driving in. You would be lying to your parents. I'm lying to mine about where we going. We driving in the car, jumping the railroad track. You know what
That
I'm
was
saying?
all her. That was her. I was on the passenger side asleep. Go ahead.
Listen, but when you was driving that other car, that Chevette or whatever you was driving, that stick shift, you was doing the same thing. I mean, but it just grew. You know what I mean? And there was longevity. Now there was a period where we didn't communicate at all, but when we got back in contact, it was like it never went away, and we just jumped back in there. So I think that's what it was for me, that any relationship that can weather the storm and the test of time and continue to grow and evolve, is a relationship worth investing in.
Yes, I from for me was I like you said as we grew. Um, we had some times, girl. We had some times, some good times, and some crazy times. And
Mm-hmm.
I knew that you were someone I could confide in, even though we don't speak every day. We may not, we have, like you said, have period where we didn't speak, but I knew that once we started communicating again, it was like nothing ever
Right.
stopped. We picked up where it left off, crazy and all. Are you able like now to like to talk to me about anything without no reserve? Because when I was asking this question last week, and he said he talks to his best friend Ron about everything. He might not tell him right then, but eventually he tells him because he has to get himself together before he tells him. How do you feel about that?
Um, I probably don't talk to you about. I don't talk to anybody about everything. So I probably do not talk to you about everything, but I feel I can talk to you about everything dealing with me. I cannot talk to you about everything dealing with you.
Why do you say that?
We are not going. Well, I say that is because, and maybe it's me. Maybe that's how I feel, because I don't want you to be upset about something. There's something, which me too. There are some things that are so touchy that I probably will wait for a moment. So maybe that's it. I will wait for the right moment. Like you'll open a door, you'll come to me, and then I'm like, okay. well, this is how I've been feeling. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard for me to bring it up in the beginning because I don't want you to be upset. Now, if it's something that you're going to be in hurt, harm, or danger, I feel that. Then I don't care if you're mad at me. But some stuff that you just playing with or whatever else, I would prefer. Well, I'm going ahead. Okay, listen, I don't know how to be on this side and be interviewed.
But
Okay,
you gonna be on this side. Go on talking stuff, girl. Now you got to learn how to be interviewed.
I just want you to sometimes I don't want to be the one to say this, or that. I say I'll let her figure it out because it can sometimes come off of being rude or judgmental. That's the word. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to seem that way, even though I feel like you know my heart. So a lot of times that's when I talk about the being the reserve. I will take a step back and then wait for an opening to share how I'm feeling because I don't want, I mean saying I don't want no problems. I don't want you to be upset because you're New York a little bit. Just a little bit, yeah.
Just a little bit. But for me, I think I'm the same way. I wait for you for the door to open. But I'd be like, honestly, I'd be wanting you to be coming at me. Girl, are you crazy? Are you doing that? Just like when we had a discussion, a week ago? Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, why she didn't say this before? Why she wait till now? This is what I'm saying to myself. Like, why you wait until now to say what you could have been telling me this and said me a whole bunch of craziness. Because I feel like, but
I know.
What?
In the words of your last week's guest, sometimes you don't listen. So I didn't want there to be no problem, Charlotte. Oh, that sounds good. Because I'm gonna just be honest. Like for me, before I got married the last time, when you and one of my cousins, you guys met the person, and you was like, seems very nice, seems this, seems that, but I don't think that's the person for you. That's not what I wanted to hear. So I went on about my business, but it was not the person for me. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes in our relationship, our pattern is we pick and choose when we will say things that we think the other person don't want us to say, unless, like I said, it's just to a point where I have no choice of saying. Now, if you was telling me you about to go get married, I'm like, girl, wait, but just dibbling and dabbling, I'm going to let you do you because I want you to come to that realization. And I think you do the same thing for me and different things that I do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because in a way, that's maturity too. I'm not going to always intervene. Some things we just learn on our own.
Right. And that's true. That's with any relationship, I believe, as a parent, mm-hmm. as friends, siblings, whatever. We learn that. I know for me, I don't know. It's just, I like when you are blunt. It hurt my feelings a little bit, but I don't do that. I like it because I be like, okay, she makes sense. I don't want to talk to her for a day, but she makes sense.
Oh, not a day. Don't try to lie to these people. And then I gotta read. I'm turning my phone off. I ain't taking no calls. I'm like, yeah. Oh, okay.
I mean, but I like when you're like that because it checks me, and I like when you check me in a way that I'm like, okay, she makes sense, but I'm mad that she told me, but she makes a whole heck of a lot of sense.
Okay, so what about on the reverse? I know this is your show, but I'm just asking. So what about me? Do you tell me or do you hold back? Like, how do you approach?
See, so sometimes I hold back because I'm like, she be like, all right, Yomi, okay. And I'll talk to you later. I'll talk to you later and get off the phone. I'll be like, well, I wasn't finished. But okay, bye. Now she got her butt on her shoulder. And because I done said something. So I wait for you. But my thing is, as your friend, I do not like to see you hurt. And even when I'm like, shut up, Yomi, don't say nothing, sometimes it may slip out because I can hear the frustration or the hurt in your voice. You know what I mean? And it's like, as my friend, as my sister, I'm like, I'm saved, but I ain't that saved. So Lord help me. Because it's gonna come out. Because you're my friend, and I don't want you to be in jeopardy or anything like that. So that's why I feel like, I want you to be as honest and as blunt with me, and you do. And I try to be that way with you, but I'll talk to you later and I don't hear from you for like 2-3 days. But it's okay.
I don't go 2-3 days of being mad now. I might go 2-3 days of not talking, but I'm not mad. You be still mad at me. You still be feeling the way. But I don't once I say it and I do it, whatever, I'm over it. Because that'd be too much to carry. So I don't hold on to that.
Now we're talking about mental health and how we are. I know I've been to counseling, you've been to counseling, right?
Yeah, still.
Right, still, believe you me. I call or email all the time. How has that helped you grow as a woman, as a mother, a friend? How has that helped you grow? Because I was like, oh, there's a lot of things that I see myself like. Before, I didn't care about nobody's feelings. Now it's like, take your count to 10, take a deep breath, and relive it. How has that helped you?
Well, so when it comes to counseling, how has counseling helped me? Okay, it's kind of complicated. Counseling has helped me immensely. It definitely has helped me grow. I believe in mental health counseling, spiritual counseling, whatever kind of counseling you would like to. I went to an inpatient treatment service because I had tried to commit suicide. That's how I started counseling. Right after my dad had passed, I was in a tricky relationship. I'll just say it was tricky. Found out the dude was stealing from me, all of these other crazy things. And I just felt frustrated and like I wanted to give up. And it was best for me not to. So when I went to that inpatient, I started learning about mindfulness and how to like focus and learning skills to help me. But I wasn't ready for that. You know what I mean? I just wasn't ready to receive those things because I hated me. I disliked me so much. So when I went to counseling again, and I instead of a group inpatient, I went individually. I started to realize that I had so much hate towards me. And a lot of things that I was doing was like sabotaging me, picking the wrong people, all that stuff. So I would say that counseling helped me as a woman first, as a person, to begin to get to know me, fall in love with me, and value me more than it helped me do anything else. And then once I started to like me, I guess the word would say, it taught me how to make connections. And that some of that is with my children because even though they're my children, they're their own person.
Correct.
I had to learn how to let them be. Like especially now they're grown. I can't dictate what they do or what their life is going to look like. They got to make their own decisions, their own choices. So it's just about letting people have space, but setting boundaries for myself. And I'm quick. Listen, run is in my name. I will run. I will cut you. I don't have time. I don't make space for people that bring me nothing. So I'm very selective now of who I allow in my life.
That's good. That's good. Yeah. Counseling has helped me. It's still helping me grow. It's still revealing some things about myself that I buried, I guess, way, way down in there and didn't want nobody to know. And I really believe people should go to counseling. There's nothing wrong with it. Even though, I feel like we have a relationship that we
Mm-hmm.
can talk about stuff. But sometimes you need a unbiased person,
Right. Absolutely.
someone who doesn't know you from Adam, someone who can listen to you and get you to work on, well, does that make sense? Is this going to help
Right.
you? Stuff like that. So I am really all for counseling, and I believe that counseling helps people. It helps families. But like you, I went because not that I tried to kill myself, but I tried to hurt somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So it was something that I was holding on to for so long, and it just released out. And I hated myself. And some days I still feel like I'm struggling with that when I get like in my low stage, you know. But then I pray about it. I may talk to you, or I'm emailing a counselor and she'll talk to me back if she doesn't have an appointment. So I think believe that counseling is very helpful. Now, I don't know if did you listen to the when I had Lynette Fogg on a couple of weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago, and she had
Wait.
stated that men are less social than women.
Mm.
Now, I always thought men were more social than women because it'd be a whole bunch of them getting together having fun. Two people can have an argument, and the next day they still cool. They may kick it, they go out with each other. But she said that, but they don't tell each other their deepest, darkest secrets. Like, man,
Okay.
I'm having a problem with my girlfriend or my woman today. And I asked last week JP the same thing, and he said, well, he talks to Ron about that. But did you find that odd that men are less social than women?
I didn't. I always thought women were more social because not to make this a Bible show,
Mm-hmm.
but the Bible told us that we would have a desire for our man. We would have that desire. So we naturally desire that we long for that man, that companionship, all of those things. So I think that in itself makes us more social or need for connection. And I think women, so, when you with your man, he ain't doing all that talking. So you got to get you a good beauty so you can, as we say in Gilmerton, try cases and talk about everybody and everything. So that's why I did. But what I did find when you guys had that conversation, when Lynette was saying, was what she said that they don't go deep. Because I always thought that men discuss everything with that guy,
Me
not
too.
necessarily with a group, but that with that guy, they told that guy everything. But it made sense what she said, and then it made sense what JP and them was saying last week about, you don't want nobody to know that they good.
Right.
They might be trying to, you know.
In the back door.
But that's the same thing as women. Like, when is the one you're not discussing all those things?
You know.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
But do you tell that brings me to my next question. Do you tell um like your sexual encounters? Have like girl?
Girl, so you don't know.
I mean, I
You
know,
can
but I was just asking for the
yes.
people.
Oh, okay. People, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I have shared, from girl, woo, Lord, it was good. To girl, gee, I am so mad. You know, I have shared all of that with you. I've shared some of those things with my sister. You know, I think we share those things when we're not in a right place in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
But when you boot up and it's going well, you like, girl, yes, I love him. That's my baby. He everything to me. Girl, it was everything. It was beautiful. But you're not going into no details about that one. You
Right.
just give like in general, he good, it was good, everything is good.
Mm-hmm.
But I think when you're not happy, you like, girl, yeah, the sex is good, but he get on my nerves. Then he doing this and he taking surveys asking me, do I want him to do this? We
Right.
it's like a complaint
Mm-hmm.
almost when we're sharing those things about our mates.
Really, not really into the one. We're
We're
not
not really into
into
them.
that one.
At least, at least that's for me. Because with old dude, I don't want to. Oh, them worms. Oh, them worms.
The worms, girl, the worms.
Them
Girl,
worms got the anointing. But
you say he had an
I
anointing?
yes, but I don't know what the worm had, but
Right.
the worm.
The worm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Right.
I never had the worm.
But he was old enough that he had some worm. I always wonder why people say that. Why do they say old people have worms? Like, do they? I be wondering, really, do they really have worms, or is it just a saying?
I think they said that to keep the fresh tail little girls away from those older men. I
No.
don't know. If you older and you got worms, could you call in? Or if
Type
you
it
older
up.
and you know why they say that, let us know.
Now, I'm gonna answer this question first, then I'm gonna ask you. The
Okay.
one thing, not just one thing, the things that I admire about you is your strength.
Mm,
Even when I seen you go through, it was like
mm,
you were strong and you held your head up high and you pushed and persevered. And that to me was something that I was so like, dang, she really, she could get through that. Lord have mercy. I've been a crack, ran off the side of the road somewhere and I did something. I don't know. But I admire that about you from like, James to when you was in the army. Everything I was like, she just keeps her head up high and I know it gets to you, but to other people, they wouldn't have known
mm.
that it got to you. And then the fact that you in school forever and a day. And I love
Yeah.
you for that because I know you love knowledge. And that is something that I'm proud of for you because you seek it so much. And I was like, girl, teach me one day, Jesus. Please. Don't shake your head, girl, but I do. And then it reminds me of when, like, the mother that you are, you know, from what's the DJ jumping from the top steps down to the thing.
Girl, traffic road, Jesus be offended.
And, we like, what in the world? But it was like the way you handle yourself when in the sense of adversity. I really do admire that about you.
You
I
are
love
so
you.
cute.
Don't you cry? Don't let
I
you
love you too. So the question is, what do I admire about you?
huh?
Okay. So first, I admire the way you love. The way, I mean, your when you love someone, it is truly unconditional, and it's like enduring. You will endure and endure long suffering. You have that fruit of the spirit. You have that naturally, because you stick by people. You look out for them. You comfort them. You take care of them. You do all of that, and these are the people that are mistreating you. You will do that for them. But the way you love your dad, the way you care for your mom and loved your mom, your brothers, your nieces, and then your girls, I really love that. I love the relationship that you have with them and how y'all talk about everything. Sometimes I'm like, they said that. I love that. Another thing that I love about you is you don't quit. You know, and I learned that. I'm silly, so I got to say this. I learned that when we was on the Deep Creek track team,
See, you do it too much.
and Yomi at 3'8". Yes, everybody, my bestie is only 3 feet 8.
I am not that short.
At 3 feet 8, Yomi was running the hurdle, and not the 100-meter hurdle. Oh no, that was too easy for her. The 300-meter hurdle. And Yomi would be coming. She done got it. Okay. But in that last 100 meters, them little legs just didn't have that get up, and she would jump and hit that hurdle, and sometimes she would fall. This fool wouldn't lay there and pretend and roll over like most people do. She would get up and keep going. I'd be like, no, stay down. Boom, she hit it again and keep going. I don't care. I'm just saying, I'm making fun, but I'm saying I love that about her because in real life you do the same thing. When a hurdle is in your way, you might fall. It might hurt. You hit the ground, whatever, but you never quit. You keep going. You finish it till the end. And a lot of people don't have that. I don't have that. I'm quick. I throw up the deuces halfway, halftime. It don't matter. Bon voyage, too much for me. I will give up. But I love the fact that you don't. You don't give up. So the way you love and that tenacity and that resiliency that you have, that's something that a lot of people don't have. And that's something that relationships are built off. Because Bishop Jake said one time, he asked this old couple how did they stay married, and they said they never fell out of love at the same time. When one gave up, the other one was fighting for it. And I feel like anytime that I wanted to give up, you was right there, and you would be saying, fight for it, don't give up, you can't quit, whatever. So I just think don't you need that person in your life, and you've been that person for me.
When she doesn't talk to me, y'all, I'll be still in her corner. When she ain't
You
talking
ain't been that long. You ain't got words.
to
My phone don't be off.
And you know what? I have to say this because I have noticed I have a hard time making relationships with other females, right? And the reason being is because when I don't feel like being bothered, when I don't want to talk to nobody, when I just need, give me a minute. I don't care if I could come on Facebook, put a whole post on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have a long draw, and I understand if you're busy, if you're at work, but say, hey, I got something to tell you, or call me later because it's important. Don't give me a paragraph in a text messages because I'm gonna read that first sentence and get off. I'm not gonna read the whole thing. I'm just not. And a lot of females I've noticed, they be like, "Dad, what you don't like me? What you don't want to talk to me?" And first of all, I'm not pacifying nobody. I'm too old. And I just wonder, do you have that problem with females, or is it just me? Because I'm like, Jesus, what is wrong with you? I don't have time to be. I just.
Well, okay, so I'm not gonna say it's just you, but I don't have that problem with females because I don't encounter a lot of females.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to say that I don't like girls. I don't like whatever. But I think from being in the military, you're just not around a lot of females. And now being in ministry is not a lot of females. So I don't have that where you are, you're in a lot of organizations, you do a lot of things in the community. So you encounter a lot more people than I encounter. I'm kind of like a lone rider anyway, because a lot of things I do, and I just always learn that you do your stuff in the dark.
Yes.
Because then ain't no witnesses. You just got to answer to God.
Yes.
So I don't have a lot. I don't have a lot of that. But in other terms, I don't be now. When I said you love unconditional, you really do. But that's the people you love. When you don't fool with them, you don't fool with them, and you will cut that phone off and make an announcement. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I want you to know I'm not answering my phone. I'm not answering no messages, and I'm not answering messages. So don't call me. And if you got a problem with it, oh well. And I'll be like, well, she ain't talking to me. So good morning. I know you're not answering calls right now, but I just wanted to say I love you. I'll see you later.
And then I'll be like, turn it up.
And then you be like, love you too. I'll talk to you after I'm finished fasting my phone. I'll be like, no problem. Because I don't look at myself as included in that. And then when you do include me, I be like, Brittany, wait a moment. Brittany, tell your mama to call me.
And then she be like, Mom, you ain't talking to Aunt Renita. I'm like, no. She needs you to call her. I'm like, okay. I'm like, God, no.
I'm gonna get you, because then after that, I'm be like, Jarrell, walk in there and tell your mama, give your mama the phone. I'm not included in those announcements.
I don't know.
But see, that's because people don't. It's something. I don't know why I can do it with you, but I can't do it with a man. You got to let people be them, and we allow each other to be who we are. You are a person that you need your own time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I think because you live with people too, that sometimes you just need time to yourself. Where I just started, living with my mom and them. So, I can relate to that because I was always by myself.
Right.
So I was already alone. So who am I cutting off? You know what I mean? When I go home, I'm alone. But even with my mom and them, they doing their own thing, and I'm usually upstairs. So I don't need that. What you need, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I can relate to that.
Yeah,
Because y'all are close.
Yeah.
Y'all are like, y'all do things together. Y'all watch TV and stuff together. My mama like, girl, bye. I ain't doing nothing. Go on.
Well, Daddy got to watch CNN, MSNBC, and I'm sitting there like, God, I want to turn the TV so much. But that's okay. Now, let me ask. Now that you're older and more mature, what would you tell your younger self or this younger generation?
How much time we got?
Mental health, friendship, relationships. What would you tell them?
How much time we got?
Girl, as much time as you need, boo. Go ahead.
Okay, first thing, so about mental health, I would say get a counselor. Like you need a lawyer, you need a doctor, you need an OBGYN, and you need a counselor.
Yes.
I would tell my younger self to ask my mom if I could be in counseling as a young person, because not growing up with your dad, not having a close relationship with him when you're young, needing that attention, trying to, we wasn't twerking back then. I think we was round and round, trying to round and round in front of the boys to get attention. All of those things were signs that I needed help.
Right.
But we didn't know that. It's not like I cried out to help, to my mom or anything. And my mom loved me to death. She always encouraged me and all those things. But I would tell the younger me or the younger generation to get a counselor. About friendships, I would say get you a friend and stick with that friend. Get you a friend that your relationship can evolve and grow as you grow. Because like I said earlier, the person we used to be is not who we are today. I was wild. I'll never forget. I'm calling names tonight. It was me, you, John Bailey, and what was it? Keith Copeland?
Yes.
We went to Kings Dominion, and we had on the shortest shorts made in history. I mean, practically our butt cheeks was out.
Yes, they were.
Of course, we didn't leave the house that way. We went, and I think, I'm not admitting this on, somebody may have stolen them shorts. But I'm not saying no names. I'm just saying we may have just accidentally. Can you still get arrested for stuff that long ago?
No, that was the statute of limitations.
Okay. I listen. It wasn't us, but it was people that looked like us. They accidentally took them baby shorts.
Accidentally?
And walked out the door. Huh?
We did it on purpose, on accident.
I'm not admitting that, Your Honor.
Richard Dunbar told us round and round, huh? We get this. That used to be the dance back then, but go ahead.
Yeah, now kids twerk. They twerk. But we used to be like round and round, they up. Round and round, they, that's what we used to do. But I'm just saying, so my younger self, I would tell my younger self to value herself, get you a good friend that will grow with you, your relationship will grow. What was the other thing? Mental health, friendship,
and relationship.
Oh, and when you're in a friendship, make sure that you're being who you are. Make sure you're being who you are. Relationships, I'm still trying to figure them out. I'm probably not mature in relationships, but I would have not gotten married And I am saved, filled with the Holy Ghost, and I love the Lord. I would have shacked, had my two babies,
Right.
not got married the second time, shacked again, had a little fun, and I would be at two.
That's it. That's all.
That's it. Oh, that didn't really help nobody. Okay, I'm just saying. I would. That's what in relationships I realized that I was trying to do what was right in the sight of people because I had a people thing. I
Mm-hmm.
wanted people to think I was a good girl. I didn't want to be the one that disappointed anybody. So instead of just dating and shacking, I got married. Mm-mm. I should have shacked.
Right. So, if I'm hearing correct, because I feel that in Lord, I'm saying filled with the Holy Ghost, all that. I believe that you need to. Oh God, I don't. Let me say this right. Okay, shack before you get married. I just feel that way because he might not be the same person in a marriage, when y'all living together. And I need to
Right.
see, who was it? Creflo Dollar has said you need to see him in all his seasons. When he mad,
Yes.
when he hungry, when he happy, when he financially unstable for a minute, I believe you need to see all that before you say I do. I know you looked at me like financially unstable, but
No, I'm saying why I look sideways. Okay, I'm sorry. I got distracted.
So I do believe that you need to shack first before you get married to see if this is if they clean, if they just leave their dirty drawers laying around, which I would be disgusted. But I would say shack first. Not
Wait,
for.
okay, I'm sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. What?
Not for
Not
I'm
for
sorry.
a long period of time. We ain't doing no 2, 3, 5 years, but at least to see where you all are. In the relationship, because once you say I do, it's supposed to be for better, for worse, till death do you part. But there might be some things that you just like, I cannot, I don't even know why I did. I know you was like this when I got married, stuff like that. So shacking, I do. Y'all forgive me if all these pastors and stuff here, I'm sorry, but that's what I believe. Did I say it was right? No. I do, as far as friendships are concerned, like you said, have a friend that you could be totally yourself with. Um, that should be the one person out of everybody that you should be yourself with. Like unmasking up, no lashes. As you say, the edge is gone. A hair nappy. I could be totally and complete with my friend. She knows me as well as I know myself. That I can trust her with secrets that I know no one else would know, or it won't get out to nobody else if I tell her and she's upset. I think it was Tyler Perry, Medea, when she said you got to have a friendship or a relationship that has roots. You have to have some kind of roots. They have to be sturdy enough that if a wind comes, that tree is not gonna waver. It ain't gonna go back and forth. It ain't gonna change colors. It's gonna stay rooted in that. And I believe you have. That's over years though. You ain't gonna find that in 2 months or
Right.
3 months. That's gonna be over years. But you need to have someone in your corner, not jumping from this friendship to that friendship, because you're not gonna have that support that you truly need. And you don't need a whole bunch of people. Just one or two good rooted friends. I mean, you can have other associates or whatever, but have that one, two good friends that's rooted and y'all grow and y'all know things and you can support each other at every turn. And you can be honest with yourself. As far as mental health, I would tell them, my old young self, I should have been in counseling at 9. At 9. I'm serious. I should have been in counseling at 9. I should have been in counseling at 15, 16 years old. If you have depression is real. It's real in our young people. It was real back then. find you someone, tell your parents. But again, that goes back to what I said, I think it was last week, that in the African American community, we're so quick to say whatever goes on in this house, let it stay in this house. No, you need help. If you need help mentally, go get it. If they have counselors that free clinic, they do free counseling on certain days or something like that. Go talk to somebody. Get you the help that you need so you can be a better man, a better woman, a better friend. Hey, if you have children, a better mother, a better sister, or whatever you choose to be, you need that help, and that counselor can help you get there. Besides your girlfriend and stuff,
Absolutely.
that's just, you have to have that. You have to have that support, and it's not a I don't want to say stereotypical thing, but it's not a bad thing for you to get help. Some people joke about it and like they on the short, but it's not that you're on the short bus. You need help.
Right.
You need help to get through your stuff, and that's what I would have told myself a long time ago. Because I should have been, but I wasn't. So now,
I want to throw in. So I am not saying I would not recommend me. I would not recommend the younger version of me. I mean, the young person to Shaq. I am saying for my past, if I was speaking to the young Renita,
right,
I would have told her to Shaq because we were already having sex.
right,
So since we were already having sex, I would have said Shaq opposed to getting married because we weren't good as boyfriend and girlfriend.
right,
So why did we together think that we would be good as husband and wife? It just got worse, and then it got abusive, and then all these other things, just snowballed from that. So that's all I'm saying. But if like speaking to my daughter, I would tell her to abstain, but she's grown, so she got to do what she want to do. I would tell her not to shack, but again, she's grown, she got to do what she want to do. For my granddaughter, I would tell her not to because I want you to value yourself. And whoever gets a piece of you, they should love you. They should honor you and they should reverence you and respect you. And if they're not willing to do that, they don't deserve you. But looking back on who I was, I mean, I was already. So won't no need of me pretending like, I was Sister Mary Clarence. Well, I might have been Sister Mary Clarence. I wasn't the nun that was in there with Sister Mary Clarence. So that's what I would say. And then you said something so important about the years that we should have been in counseling. From being young, like we both having parental issues where our parents rejected us, and that thing where if it go on in my house, stay in my house. I don't think parents can give what they didn't have.
true.
You know what I mean? And like I said, my mom was so loving to me. I don't care what it was. I mean, I was a ballerina. I was a gymnast. I did swimming lessons. We traveled all over the world. I was in sign language. She did everything that I told her I wanted to do. But because my dad wasn't there,
Right.
I was lacking. So I think any child that is in a home where one parent is not there, and I wish I had did that for my kids. Now I did recommend or take them to counseling, but both of them were sitting in there like a goof. If you watch it,
You gonna stop talking about my niece and nephew? Stop it.
and refuse to talk. But I think any child that does not have a parent in the home, they should at least be afforded some type of counseling so they can talk it out in case they do feel away. Maybe they don't. All people aren't the same, but for me, it was very hurtful. And like I said, I looked for boys for the attention. Then I married someone because he chose me, even though he had already, roughed me up a little bit. And then I had a smart mouth then, and I'm saying whatever I want to say. And, then now we fighting, and it just went on from there, from that to rape to, it just kept getting,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it just got worse. And not saying that counseling is the end all be all, but it could have prevented a lot. because as a child, I would have learned to love myself. So when someone came along and it didn't look like love, but I didn't know what love looked like from a man. I just knew that I wanted somebody to choose me and pick me,
Right.
and he picked, and that was all. That was the only standard. Pick me and be cute.
Hey, and go round and round, round and round.
I didn't say that, Mom.
Sorry, Miss Teresa, sorry. But I was doing that. Anywho, but no, I understand what you're saying. I understand. Only reason why I said Shaq, I mean, like you said, I was having sex. Heck, I had a baby out of wedlock. You know what I'm saying? I did it. I mean, I don't know, that wasn't a secret. She's 27. She's, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knew that. And I don't want my children, I want my children, both of them, to value who they are. And I want them to be respected by any man that they choose.
That's right.
And even though I haven't picked I have my pickers is off, as my Aunt Yomi would say. My pickers have been off. And I don't want my girls to go down that path. I don't want them to be stuck up, but I don't want them to go down that path to where everybody has a past, because your mama has a past, but everybody also has a future. So you just got to see if this person is willing, or is he treating you like you need to be treated. He may have a criminal background. I don't want him to, but he may. But is he doing what he needs to do now for you, to make sure you're good, to make sure, if you had children, you're good. Well, her dogs, if the dogs are good, I mean,
well, one day she's gonna have children.
Anywho, my grandpup's good. He's making sure the car is good, everything. I just want him to be a responsible person and treat her good. I know my daughter's grown. I'm not saying she's a angel, because Lord knows neither one of them are. I just want them to do, and I tell them, if you have to go to counseling, go to counseling, get you some help, because I know I have done things to them that wasn't right, because like you said, I didn't know no better. Mm-hmm. But now that I look back, I apologize. I work on it. We have a better or awesome relationship, even though I know they think they my mama now. But I really believe that counseling, like, is not the everything, but it helps. It helps you get you right. It puts you on your right path. Not just worldly counseling, but spiritually counseling.
Right.
Someone to feed your soul, your spirit, someone to, give you the word, to pray with you. And that's what I love. I'm like, girl, pray for me. And you'll pray for me. And then you'll be like, you want Renita or you want the minister part? I'd be like, give me both, but give me the ratchet part first, and then we could go with the clean. So, I just get somebody that has that spiritual guidance with you, and I really believe that our society will be better, because there's so much going on. And I was talking to Jarrell the other day. I don't believe I wanted to be a kid. I would want to be a child now. There's too much. Too much. Too much. And I be wanting to, sometimes, how old they? Because they could get it. I don't care if they doing what to you. You know what I'm saying? Because she's my child and I'm protecting her. But it's too much going on. We have peer pressure, but they got a lot. And, I just pray that these young people understand mental health is more important than throwing your legs up in the air or seeing who could twerk better.
Absolutely. And that's why I think that's such a great point. That's why I think it's so important for parents to identify young a deficiency. I think speaking as a parent, when you look at yourself and you look at deficiencies that you have now, that you see in your kids, you have now put into them like those generational curses
Yes.
because you learned it. Now you passing it on. I think that's what I'm saying when I say when you see those things, you should try to get your kids in counseling. So when I realized that my family was going to be broken, I should immediately got my kids in some type of counseling because they witnessed some things. My daughter can speak now of some things that she saw in her parents fighting. You know what I mean? So I should have wanted her to get some help to be able to communicate that, know that it wasn't her fault, and so she doesn't follow in the same pattern as me.
Correct.
But I didn't know to do that. I didn't think to do that. I didn't have the skills at that time to do that. And how much different would her life be had I had the skills to do that for myself and for her? So that's why I think it's so important for moments like this for that young mother or the young lady that may be scrolling through Facebook, whomever, an aunt, uncle, whoever, or a young man, somebody that can lead someone else and say, listen, it's nothing wrong with you if you get counseling. Actually, it's something wrong if you don't get counseling.
Correct.
Because if you got blood pressure problems, you go get help. If you need glasses, you go get help. If you're got bunions on your feet, you go get help. Heck, young ladies go get help when they start their cycle. So why is it that the thing that operates all of those things, because without the brain, your fingers don't move, your feet, why not get some kind of help?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I just think that as a community, as Black people, and we do it more now, but it needs to be sought out even more. And not everything can't be fixed with prayer. Right. Prayer changes everything, but everything can't be fixed with prayer. Faith without works is dead. So God, He wants something. So, because can't that same prayer fix cancer?
Yes.
But you're going to get some type of treatment.
Yes,
so why don't you use that same energy with your mental health? But
right. I don't know. Well, this was good, girl. Thank you for being on the other side of the interview spectrum tonight. I appreciate you.
Yes, boo.
Thank you all for listening. We all have to do better when it comes to our mental health, our friendships, our relationships, and I hope this can help you all somehow, some way. Again, thank you for listening. Renita, I'll see you on Thursday.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, honey.
I love you.
I love you too, girl. I love you too. Just have me some crayons ready when I get there.
No, ma'am.
Why not?
We're fasting.
Who?
Get off these people's screens.